Okay, this is Contact Music with Faris from the Horrors at the Leeds Festival. Well then Faris, you've had a fantastic year so far with Primary Colours. I mean, it's received so much critical acclaim. Were you expecting such a response?
Well, I mean, finishing the album was quite a long process, so I mean, although we were so immersed in what we were doing that we started to lose sight of whether other people would actually like it. But I mean, ultimately you can't please everyone, so you might as well please yourself. And we did ensure that we kept going until we had, finished something that we were truly happy with.
Yeah. I mean, you've been nominated for a Mercury Music Prize. I mean, how much would it mean to you and the rest of the guys if you actually won it?
Well, a huge amount. I mean, it's because as I said, we put a lot of effort into this album, and to have it, I mean, even to be nominated, to be recognised in that sense is, really affirming because, we put a lot of ourselves into the record. I mean, there aren't many music prizes that actually mean much, I think, to bands, and this is kind of where it's a good one. They don't celebrate the immediately obvious artists.
Yeah, it's certainly probably the most credible one that we've got in the UK, and I think it'd be a massive acclaim, wouldn't it?
Yeah, without doubt. Yeah, I mean.
So sort of like just moving on really to there's a lot of difference in sound from obviously Strange House and where you ended up with Primary Colours. What sort of made you sort of change the way that you actually recorded, and obviously where did the change come from?
Well, we didn't necessarily consciously change that much. We were there's obviously a 2-year gap between the first and second album, and in that time we were just writing and touring constantly. So the gradual change happened out of sight of the listener, and had they sort of heard all the demos in between, they would have seen that it wasn't as drastic as it may sound just from listening to 2 albums. But I think that an important part of being in a band is wanting to improve and honing your craft, and I think that's all we did really. We definitely never took a conscious step back and decided we have to change, because I mean the first record was a primal, intense statement that was all about spontaneous energy and power and everything, and the second one is as intense but in a different way, more reserved way, which I mean is it's just a different thing really. But I mean, for me the two directly relate and they make sense.
Because there's quite a lot of influence on the new one that people have talked about. I mean, obviously bands like Can and quite a lot of the shoegaze bands. I mean, would you say that was something that you were listening to around that time?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely more. I mean, we were listening to a lot of 70s Bowie, like Berlin and era, and like like Low and stuff, and also things like Arthur Russell, but then still a lot of the psychedelic things, like the Pretty Things. SF Sorrow was a big one for us, and all that stuff. So I mean, that we're music fans. We'll always be listening to a lot of music. It wasn't really that much of a drastic change, just as much as any music fan would get into different things at different points.
So natural evolution process.
Well, for us, yeah. I mean, for me, the signs on the first record are there for everyone to see that that they would transform into the second.
I suppose in a way, just going back to bands like My Bloody Valentine, you can even compare it to the way that they changed from This Is Your Bloody Valentine and on to Isn't It?
Yeah, exactly. That's I mean, it's something that not many people have picked up on actually. That that they basically did start off as a garage band, and ironically with a sort of B-movie-esque name. So yeah, I mean, it's for me, we want to continue to evolve, and there's really no point doing anything creative unless you want to move forward.
No, I fully agree with that. So how did Jeff Barrow from Portishead get involved with the record?
Well, Jeff's always been a fan and like a supporter, and that again is something that we were very happy about, because Portishead for me are